Hey guys, and welcome back to the OG Spice Guy Show. This is going to be a new kind of episode, covering some industry hot topics that are impacting sourcing, and of course our favorite subject, pricing. We're going to quickly talk about what's really going on with tariff exemptions, why organic black pepper is still trending high, and what's driving up the cost of organic cardamom seed. So, if you're in sourcing or procurement, or just want the real story behind today's pricing, this one's for you. Let's jump into it. All right, so let's clear up the confusion around tariffs because a lot of buyers have been asking and emailing me, hey, Jonathan, aren't tariffs going away? Shouldn't our prices be dropping? So let me clear it up. Here's the deal. About mid-November of 2025, the U.S. government removed a layer of reciprocal tariffs that had been placed on many agricultural imports, including spices. So these were a part of a broader trade policy shift, and now, under the updated terms, there are products from India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Brazil, Egypt, and some others that may no longer be subject to those added tariffs if they meet the criteria. And that means, sure, landed costs have come down for many importers, especially those bringing in products like garlic, ginger, pepper, and some other bulk spice ingredients. But it doesn't automatically mean that your spice prices are dropping. So let me explain. Earlier in the year, when tariffs first impacted, at HQO, we made a decision to not pass on 100% of the tariff increases. We absorbed a portion to help buffer our customers. So now that some of those tariffs are being lifted, that doesn't translate into a full rollback in pricing. On top of that, we have global freight rates, we have labor and certification costs, local inflation at origin and here in the US, and you have a lot of other variables that are still keeping overall costs elevated. So yeah, tariff pressures have eased, and yes, you might see some cost relief in some SKUs, but it's not across the board, and it's definitely not going to be immediate. So let's dig into the world of organic black pepper, which of course is an incredibly ubiquitous spice. I mean, it's used in everything, and so it hits a large part of the food industry. So why isn't the price coming down? So let's look at the big picture. So you have Brazil, which is a major black pepper grower and exporter. And they had a bad harvest this year due to low rainfall. That's important because black pepper is actually pollinated by the rain. And since there was low rainfall, there was a low crop yield. So not only was there a lower yield, but the quality was affected, especially for organic lots. That took a chunk of the global supply off the table. Vietnam and Indonesia, the other two big players in organic black pepper, had stable outputs, but they've been hit hard by demand from Europe, China, and the United States. Everyone's scrambling to secure black pepper, and that pressure is pushing up the prices. Then there's the wild card, market speculation. Traders, especially in Vietnam, are holding on to inventory, betting that prices will rise even further in Q1 and Q2 of 2026. That kind of speculative behavior adds fuel to the fire. And remember, organic pepper is a smaller pool to begin with when compared to conventional. It takes more labor, more care, more documentation. So when supply is tight and demand is up, there's just no cushion in the system. So if you're waiting for organic pepper prices to drop significantly, you might be waiting a while. If you've got a forecast, my recommendation, lock it in early and protect your position. Let's talk about organic cardamom seeds. This one always gets a reaction from buyers because it's so expensive right now. So let me help you understand why. First, organic cardamom is a high labor crop. It's hand-picked, carefully dried, and it has to be dehusked and then cleaned for seed. So there's really no shortcuts here, especially for certified organic. Second, supply is extremely limited. Most organic cardamom comes from small farms in India and Guatemala. And Guatemala in particular has faced multi-year droughts that shrunk yields significantly. And when those yields drop, certifiers reject a higher percentage of the crop due to quality or contamination. So even less ends up in exportable certified form. Add in rising global demand, especially for clean label functional ingredients, and you've got a tight, expensive market. So again, if you're sourcing cardamom seed, my recommendation is to plan ahead. This isn't a crop that suddenly floods the market. So here's the key takeaways from today's hot topics. Yes, tariffs have eased, and that's great news, but it doesn't mean you can expect prices to fall to pre-2025 levels. Organic black pepper is still dealing with global shortages, strong demand, and speculation. And organic cardamom seed is high cost because of limited origins, labor intensity, and climate pressure. Thanks for listening, and let us know in the comments, what do you think of this new type of episode? Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the OG Spice Guy Show.